RDTDaily.com presents a Tarabuster with comedian Tara Devlin.
All right. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for hanging out. Unapologetic liberal talk on the right side of history. Decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. Let me know if all bells and whistles are firing on all cylinders. Thank you so much, guys. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. I'm only asking about the audio and everything because Ecamm did an update. As we know that when that happens, a lot of times things go a little bit cuckoo. It signed me out, so that's why, I'm late. I'm usually late, but it signed me out, and that's one of my excuses, but it's actually something that happened. And little Booty is scratching. I don't know if you can hear. She's scratching her cone. Booty. Poor baby. And all right, this is our regularly scheduled, is that a word? Friday evening get together. Thank you, Haiku. Check. Audio sounds good. Thank you, Luther. Thank you, guys. We meet here at the 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard-ish time in this vicinity at the Tarabuster YouTube channel at youtube.com/c4channel/Tarabuster. It's unapologetic liberal talk. We're just hanging out. You know, it's Friday night. Come on over and hang out in the greatest chat room in American history. And we have some things to discuss tonight. But before, if you can, please become a patron. That would help. Patreon.com/TaraDevlin. It'll help keep the show going and growing. For some reason, we're losing patrons. I don't know. I hope everything's okay in your world. That's all I have to say. And if others can afford to step into the breach, that helps keep the show going and growing. It's the truth. All these things, cost money. And yeah, we're in it together. We don't have billionaire benefactors. I'm not Clarence Thomas. And if I were a Supreme Court justice, I wouldn't behave like that. I wouldn't be a billionaire's bitch. I wouldn't be a pet for a billionaire. I have more dignity, There comes a limit where you would say, oh, no, it's okay. I got it. I can pay for myself. I'm sorry. I can pay for my own son's college. When do you start getting insulted by that? Right? Like, what do you think? I can't afford it myself? What do you think? I got no dignity here? I can't pay my own way? But clearly, Uncle Clarence has no dignity. He's a disgusting symptom of the sick-ass system that we're in. Yes, Bob Menendez. Gold bar Menendez. And what happened last time? He was acquitted or something? The charges were dropped, and I guess he just felt like he had free reign to continue collect. What is this shit? Gold bars, gold bullion. Where? That whole thing. The fact that we have these horrible people who are infesting our body politic. It is the result of money in politics. Sure, there's always going to be bribes. There's always going to be people with their taking bribes and in it for themselves and not altruism. But when you have money built into the system, when you have legal bribes built right into the system, you're not really going to attract the cream of the crop. So, unfortunately, Menendez is a Democrat, and then which I always get even more disappointed when things like this happen, because then of course we get the both sides. But yes, there are both sides are humans. Well, to a degree, one side is human, but it's greed. That's why you have to have tight regulations, and you don't tempt people, which is why money in politics is the root of all evil. Why would you put legal bribes into the system unless you're on the take, right? Unless that's all that matters. And it really is all that matters to some, especially those who pretend to be of heavenly pursuits, right? All the ones who are always shoving their fake Christianity down our throats are the ones that are of such worldly concerns. They don't act like the Jesus they pretend to worship. They don't really take his explicit and direct orders. They throw them by the wayside. So, all right, but let me do some more plugs. First of all, APS Radio News, I just want to say again, thank you, Charlie, for supporting the show and for also keeping your independent media channel going and growing. There are more independent voices over at APS Radio News, not just me. You can check them out. And Charlie has a more, I don't know, he likes to cover all the bases. So there's a wide variety of views. No cuckoos, though. Like there's no Perjury, Traitor Greens on there. Or Lauren banned from the bowling alley, Bobert. There's, as far as I know, maybe. I don't think there are any. Last I looked, so that's for sure. And knowing Charlie, I don't think he would allow that. So, but I also got Charlie's donation for little Boudica. Thank you. Where is Booty? She is feeling better because she's running around, but she's still got her stitches from being spayed and her little cone, and everything's kind of calmed down here after I was attacked by my own cat, Francis, who's sitting over here, sitting in the cat tree. He's kind of on my shit list. He's frankly lucky that I'm not a different type of person, because I think some people might have said that's it for Francis. I'll see you on the Rainbow Bridge. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm giving him another shot. If it happens again, we might have to reconsider. It wouldn't be something I would take lightly, of course. Why am I whispering? Am I whispering? All right, what else do I have to say? I don't know. I'm in a mood. Yeah, Francis Killer Jr. Maybe he mistook me for a Republican. Right? He thought a Republican had infiltrated when he heard Boudica's scream. But I never heard anything like the way she screamed. So I guess he thought I was killing her or something. But none of the other two thought I was killing her. So I don't know. It just pisses me off, the whole thing. And then he's acting like normal, like nothing happened. He's like acting like, oh yeah, hey, what's up? Coming over and tapping me on my leg, like, hey, give me a pet. I'm like, get the fuck out of here with this shit. No, get out of here, kid. I'm sure I'll get over it, but come on. I'm a little wary now that I know that's in him. It's kind of whatever. It's never happened before. So, yeah. All right. Yes, he was stressed out. He reacted to the scream. Winston on the chat said, I don't think it'll happen again. I agree, cautiously. But the fact that he had that in him, that's what concerns me. That he could attack me like that. But it was all the different ingredients that came together. The strange cat, the smell of the strange cat, right? Boudica's scream. Boom. All right. Let's forget it. I'll save it for my shrink. I'm just in a pissy mood, too. I don't know. I had a shitty week. Everything sucks. I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of everybody. I'm sick of, really, this country. I'm sick of the shit. I'm sick of bullshit. I'm sick of right-wingers. I'm sick of their stupidity. I'm sick of the antics. I'm sick of the greed. You know? Sick of saying, please become a patron. I'm sick of, what else? I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of, like, asking for help and not getting it. All right. We'll be right back. Isn't it a great show already? It's such a great show. Yeah. No, I'm just sick of, like, reaching out. Because I have to tell you, let me tell you. Whatever, not that anybody gives a shit. Progressive Voices. I'm on Progressive Voices, and I think it's great. Yes, that's great. Whatever. I'm on once a week on Progressive Voices, and I submit all of these, like little clips of the show, but I never hear them on Progressive Voices. So I keep asking, why aren't they being played? And I keep being told that they are being played. But I listen to Progressive Voices from pretty much all day, and I never hear them. So I'm like, am I going fucking insane here? I don't hear any of them. I never do. So it's like wasting my time, and then I get like the runaround. So it's pissing me off. And then I'm like getting patrons, losing patrons, and I'm like, I need like help here, mother effers. And I get nothing. So you could tell I'm in a mood. I need medication. I need whatever Francis is taking right now. So. All right. Thank you, Elise, for your super chat. And thank you, Jim, for your super chat. What the hell is wrong with me? You see, I'm too busy complaining about life. But, I guess when I get really stressed and down, I think, everything's temporary, And I'm not saying that to be morose. One of these days, it's all going to be gone. We'll all be over the Rainbow Bridge, so what does it really matter? I don't know. I'm in a mood. Okay, well, why don't we just talk about what we're here to talk about and fucking forget about it. So, okay, there's a few things that I wanted to discuss tonight. While we have the time, I have to really watch the clock here, because I'm trying to tighten shit up, too. Not go off on a 4-hour tangent about one thing. And all right, where do we even begin? Should we begin with Clarence Thomas being kept as a pet? It's just absolutely disgusting. He's got no decency. He's got no dignity. He is. I mean. Are you a man? We were talking about this one of the other shows the last time ProPublica came out with an expose, and I love the way they're doing it in drips and drabs, right? So it's so we don't forget, because there's so much going on, and the Republicans, they just seem to get away with a lot of shit constantly. Now, I know they're all day on the corporate media. They talk about Menendez, and they should, because he's a filthy, disgusting grifter, but like the rest of them. But there's so many other grifters to discuss. Like, what about Uncle Clarence? What about this horrible effing Supreme Court? That is, I mean, the whole thing, they make a joke out of they make a joke out of this country. And everyone who ever sacrificed for this country. It is an absolute disgrace. The Democrats, on the other hand, right, piss me off in regard to this, and we've talked about it all the time, because I'm like, why don't they listen to this fucking show? Why? Because I would tell them, if they did and if they would listen, that they should have, from the beginning, from the time not just Uncle Clarence, Moscow Mitch corrupted illegally, and whatever the corporate media would call it, crossing or violating norms, right? No, he wasn't violating norms. He was enacting the Nazi playbook by corrupting the courts, and using any excuse, any tactic. And this is what Republicans do, and they use it. They fix the facts around the policy after the fact, and that's what Scalia. He was a master at that, because he would hold different views on the same side of different issues, or different sides of the same issue, but he, according to whatever agenda they wanted to come to fruition, and he would write legal, wrapping it in the legal legitimacy. And you could go through his rulings and his statements and whatnot, and you could see that he would hold the different views depending on what agenda they wanted to act out. And that's the role of a conservative, so-called conservative Supreme Court justice. And judges all over the country. It's to wrap their bullshit, their attacks on democracy, in the veneer of legal legitimacy. And it's so far gone now that they don't even have to pretend. You see, Uncle Clarence doesn't feel the need to hide, or he doesn't feel that. Let's put it this way: not just hide. He is hiding his corruption to a degree, but he, like this Koch brothers event he goes to. But this is not the first time they've gone, and they go to the Federalist Society. They go to they go to they're basically signaling to their who the fuck they are, that they are for sale, so. But Uncle Clarence doesn't feel the need to resign. And that's how far we've fallen, because nobody resigns anymore. And that's the Republican Party. They do not resign. Now, I find it rich that the Republicans right now, they're calling for Bob Menendez to resign. You see how that works? But they still have a George Santos. They still have a Lauren Boebert. They still, there's no behavior that's beyond the pale for these people. They are still circling the wagons with Uncle Clarence and every other, disgrace to this country that is on the Supreme Court. And they're all a disgrace, all of them. Uncle Clarence is glaring and blaring. It's probably because he's been on there so long, and he's been being kept as a pet of billionaires so long, and he feels like, he's beyond reproach. It's his world. We all live in it, and that's the conservative way. You see, that's how they behave. It's the center of the universe is a very crowded place filled with Republicans. So it's okay if a Republican does it. That's their motto that they live by, because they're not in it to help this country. They're in it to destroy this country. That's why we have to deal with all these assholes running around angry and screaming and crying and disrupting things, and who don't know how to behave in public, but don't know how to act because of them. So let's see. Where is this? Uncle Clarence from the ProPublica article. Uncle Clarence has attended at least 2 donor events. This is the latest, At least 2 donor events for the Koch network without disclosing it. Well, what do you got to disclose to the plebs? Oh, look at Booty. She brought a toy over. See, she's feeling better. Where's my cat cam? It's not fair to have Booty and not be able to see her. What? Where's the damn cat cam? Booty, what you do with it? Oh, wow. Dead air. This is why I don't have patrons. Nah. I do have patrons, but whatever. Booty! Booty! Get back here! With the camera! Alright. Let's see. Uncle Clarence Thomas repeatedly went to Koch fundraisers and mingled with donors. You see, like I was saying, don't you have any dignity? To me, is this normal? Of course it's not. But, I mean, if just as people, if we were in his position, wouldn't there be, I don't know, let's imagine. Wouldn't you get to a point where you're like, I'm not for sale? Wouldn't you feel used? I guess they don't care. Uncle Clarence and the insurrectionist wife of his, because I guess they love that. They love those trips around the world, that $500,000 vacation. Could you imagine going on a $500,000 vacation? Which, when does it end? Where does the greed stop? As Senator Kennedy said famously, when does the greed end? How much is enough, Uncle Clarence? And human nature, you see, is, as we know, that's why you don't want to, people are tempted. You don't want to tempt people. You don't want to give them the opportunity to be a corrupt puppet of billionaires. But as far as that seems like the horse left the barn on that one in this effing country. But Uncle Clarence, if you can't tell, if you're trying to tell me that he's not influenced by being a billionaire's pet, he's not influenced by palling around with these billionaires who want to buy government. They hate America. They hate the general welfare. That's what it's about. That's why Republicans, they hate unions. It's like, I can't even believe what I'm hearing half the time. Anyone who is, just we'll get to it, because that's the other thing I wanted to talk about. Maybe we'll talk about that too right now. But how the effing Republicans they're going after unions. They always have, of course, since Reagan destroyed Patco. And we can trace the decline of the American middle class right to Reagan's doorstep. So I don't understand how any working person votes for these people unless, here, I do understand, excuse me. What do they get in return? They get the Proud Boys. They get to be racist and ugly. They get the permission to be stupid. They get the permission to be the Staten Island assholes screaming at migrants, screaming at terrified people, as if that's going to do anything except terrify them. And I want to say, last time we were talking about that, And after the show, and I was shutting down everything, and I went over to Rokfin, which is populated by a lot of right wingers. And I didn't notice that somebody was like barraging me with comments like about this migrant facility, because I was reading from an article discussing how migrants that the people entering the country are not here illegally. They're legally seeking asylum according to laws we helped crafted, international laws we helped craft after World War II, so another Holocaust would never happen again. And they were screaming on there, behind the veil of anonymity, on there, typing about how, if you don't think that this is a different situation from World War II, then you need a dictionary, B and C and all this, right? But what does that have to do if this is a different situation than World War II? It's the law. You don't like the law? Change the law. That's the law. People have the legal right to seek asylum without being harassed, vilified, used as pawns, terrorized, turned back, abused. It says it right there explicitly. Or have their children taken from them. So you don't like it, and that's just another example how the Republicans, they hate this country. They are childish, and this is how it all comes together. I say it all the time, they lack the fundamental maturity to function in a free democratic society. It takes a level of maturity. If you don't like the laws, change the laws. That takes time, though. It feels good, I guess, to them to scream at vulnerable people, which doesn't accomplish anything. What are you accomplishing? You're just terrifying people, and you look like monsters. I'm telling you. I'm trying to give you some constructive criticism here. It doesn't look like a protest. It doesn't. You're not, in this situation. If this were, let's say, comparable to the civil rights movement, you're the bus driver, telling Rosa Parks to get in the back. That's the situation. You're the you see the pictures of the young people at the lunch counter. You're the assholes behind them screaming. You're the assholes behind the children screaming while going into the first integrated schools. So you're not on the right side of history here, and you look like monsters. So it just goes to show you again, they hate this country. They hate America. We are a nation of laws. You don't like the laws that we helped craft after World War II, so another Holocaust wouldn't happen again? Oh, so it doesn't count, is what they're saying, because it's not like World War II. How? How is it not? When people's lives are being threatened in their failed states that we helped create. And, we can help them fix those failed states, but those failed states are there in many part because of unbridled capitalism and America's interference, which dismantled actual democracies in these places, because there were threats of socialism, or socializing oil, or socializing the commons in some form. So the American mom and apple pie stepped in to overthrow democratically elected leaders in these countries, and in the place, we get what do you call it? The drug cartels. I'm trying to think of the word. well, whatever. I need to study the whole area more, but that's basically the cliff notes. But anyway, oh, okay. Somebody said Junior looks like he's going to roll out of the tree, which has happened before. So, thank you for letting me know. He seemed to have fixed himself there. So, going back to the ProPublica, Thomas's presence was intended to be a fundraising draw for the conservative political network. The justice was brought in to speak in the hopes that such access would encourage donors to continue giving. Charles and David Koch have had opportunities to meet privately with Thomas. Isn't that nice? I wonder if I can get to meet privately with Thomas. Right? Oh, right. I would have to be a billionaire with business before the court. You think that they're like, no, Uncle Clarence, we just can't discuss these matters because we might have interest before the court one day, Uncle? And that simply wouldn't be right. Right? So let's see. After critics called for more information about Thomas's attendance, the Supreme Court press office downplayed the episode. Yeah, because this is what you do. Remember last time we were talking about the 5 stages of Republican, what was it? The Republican contrition? First it was anger. Wait, hold on. Where was it? I think I wrote it down. First it was denial, then anger, then bargaining, deflection, and then comes the apology. But we're not anywhere near, I think this is I need to rewrite it according to just one for Uncle Clarence, because in there would be indifference. He's not resigning. Why would he? They don't resign anymore. It's a free-for-all. It's a smash and grab. They grift their way into the halls of power, and then they don't let go. They just put their claws in it, into our body politic, and they don't let go until they're carted out in goddamn body bags at this point. The report detailing how Uncle Clarence, that is, secretly participated in donor events staged by the hard-right Koch network drew fierce protests. The investigative outlet ProPublica revealed that the Supreme Court, Thomas has secretly attended at least 2 donor events. Secretly. Why do you, when you're doing something in secret, you got to ask yourself, why? Because they don't need to bother. You know what happens in secret? Things you don't really want in the ProPublica expose, I would imagine. Because we're all supposed to pretend that this is normal. As long as Uncle Clarence brushes it off, pisha. But as I was saying with the Democrats, the thing that annoys me about the Democrats, and I didn't finish my goddamn thought as usual, is that they simply, there's what's the response to this? It's feckless. But I guess I was trying to put myself in their shoes. It must be very difficult because you're responding to so many crimes coming from the right. There's so much shit going on. And you're getting criticism all over. And, of course, you have the Democrats like Joe Biden who think that modeling good behavior is somehow going to influence the right-wingers, that they'll all of a sudden come up and start behaving like adults who want a functioning democracy when that's simply not in their DNA. And then you have there are some Democrats, former Democrats too, like Kirsten or whatever her name is, Sinema, she's on the take, she's on the make. Joe Manchin, he's on the take, he's on the make. These are bought and paid for mother effers. And they're shameless too. Shameless, and they have to say they are somewhat, they have to be some level of malignant narcissists to behave like that. Because you know what I mean? Because you got to keep that up all the time. You have to keep up that act of pretending you're doing it for the people, while you know the truth. You know you're full of shit. You know you couldn't give a shit about the people. You're just trying to hold on to your cushy, phony, baloney job so you can parlay that into some legal bribes or some lobbying gig. If you vote for something that people like, that's incidental, man. If you help somebody, that is, that's a happy accident. But other than that, you're in it for yourself. Really. So, it's, and with the Democrats, what I was saying, I wish they were listening, they could listen to this show, or would listen to this show, because they needed to be framing this since Moscow Mitch destroyed the Supreme Court. It should not have ever. They should have started and never stopped, because now it's like we're starting from zero with trying to do something about it. Expand the court, whatever. How long is this going to take? He needs to resign. But that's not going to happen, of course. But in the meantime, the Democrats, every time they got in front of a camera and get in front of a camera moving forward, they need to discuss the Supreme Court as illegitimate. That's it. Illegitimate Justice Coney Barrett. The illegitimate Justice I Like Beer. The illegitimate Justice Gorsuch. Oh, they're all illegitimate. And Uncle Clarence is goddamn illegitimate by his corruption. He shouldn't have been on the court either. Himself is an insult. They traded, the Republicans put him on there because he took the seat of, what's his name? It escaped me. Thurgood Marshall. An actual amazing, somebody who we could all look up to, a trailblazer, a real servant of the American people. And then they put this flunky on there because he has darker pigment. And that's the same thing they did with Ruth Bader Ginsburg, someone who is a giant in the annals of American history. And then we get this Handmaid, who has, an XY, XX chromosome, so I'll put her on there. Right? That's it. She's a woman. She's a female. She's a handmaid. Put her on there too. And that's exactly what Trump said. That he was saving her. That's why they put, Justice I Like Beer on there. Because when they asked, because he got the list. Trump doesn't know shit from his goddamn elbow. So they asked, oh, well, who are you going to put up? Oh, I'm saving her for Ruth Bader Ginsburg. They were just counting the moments until she died. And unfortunately, I wish she had held on for 2 damn weeks, but there you go. None of us are promised tomorrow. So, But she had no Amy Coney bitch-face Barrett. I can't stand her. She's the worst. Her stupid fake-ass smile, her fake-ass, whatever. Her fake-ass, the tone of voice. Oh, I can't. She's a, what does she say? Oh, she's a victim, too. They're all victims. She's like, ah. Wait a minute.
Really nice to have a lot of noise made, not by protesters
Oh, God. Can you hear this?
outside of my house.
I had the honor.
See, it was hard to hear that. I could barely hear it myself. That's why there's a translation here. Justice Amy Coney Barrett said, it's really nice to have a lot of noise made, not by protesters outside my house. Ha 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 ha. Did you workshop that one, Amy Coney? Did you have to go on open mic night?
I had the honor this term of writing, I think, the only Supreme Court decision in the history of that institution that has been lambasted by a whole string of foreign leaders who felt perfectly fine commenting on American law. One of these was former Prime Minister Boris Johnson, but he paid the price.
Yes, that's why he lost, because he commented on Roe v. Wade being overturned, that you sent women to back alleys to kill them and make more abortions. Oh, I hate these people. Hello, we're back. All right. It's just unbelievable. So, okay, let's move on to more stories. More stories, Tara Devlin. More stories. What's the other story? What? I guess there's too many stories happening. That's probably why I'm in a mood. There's many stories. If you can give the show a good review on iTunes, that might help. Make it nice, because I'm in a pissed off mood anyway. I can't deal with no shit. And become a patron. That's going to be me. My last words. Become a patron. Okay. All right. Let's start here. I didn't write this down. I forgot. But I wrote it down in here. This is what makes me mad as a hatter. See, Republicans hate an economically vibrant and upwardly mobile working class majority. That's why they have Uncle Clarence Thomas. They don't care about Uncle Clarence Thomas's corruption. They like it. They're like, Uncle Clarence, why did you have to get caught? Couldn't you have been more slick, Uncle Clarence? I mean, just tamp it down a little. Did you have to be that brazen and without decency and dignity and no self-worth? To be so bought and paid for? I mean, I've never seen anything like it. Really, am I wrong here? When you think about it. Like, when does it stop? When do you stand up for yourself and say, no, I can't take another $500,000 vacation? Right? Like, who are you, my friend, just because I'm on the Supreme Court? I thought you liked me as a friend. You don't need to bribe me. I like our conversations, our long walks on the beach, our sunsets. Smoking cigars on the deck of the Bilderberg group, and getting our visages painted in oil. I like that. I just want you. I want a friend. I don't need you to buy me. And don't think that you're going to influence me. I mean, I am a Supreme Court justice. I may be Uncle Clarence, but that is Supreme Court Justice Uncle Clarence to you. And I thought you liked me as a person. I mean, I'm a man. And as Josh Hawley says, we men, we take care of ourselves. We don't need billionaires paying for everything, paying for our mother's house and letting our mother live there. I'll take care of my own mother. Right? Wouldn't you be like that? Like, fuck off with all this shit. This is bullshit. This is, it's an insult, in fact. So blatantly an insult. Don't you think I could take care of myself? I could pay for my own son's tuition. I have a good job. My insurrectionist bitch wife has a good job. So, we could pay our own tuition. That's okay. We can pay for our own RV. We can fund our own vacations. And, frankly, I'm of regular stock. I don't like that $500,000 vacation. I'm going to the Walmart parking lot. And last I looked, it's free. Right? Terry on the chat. It's true. Yeah. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps and latch on to a billionaire's ass. Is that it? Pull yourselves up. That's how they pull themselves up. They pull themselves up. And they jump up and grab that billionaire right by the ass, and they suck. They just latch on it like a lamprey, and they don't let go. And they just don't have a problem with it. It's fascinating, but there they are telling us all about who's all about how things work. What men are men and who should be what and what we should do and blah, 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 with our bodies. And yeah, well, I guess they could tell us what we can do with our bodies because billionaires are telling them what to do with theirs. Meaning, just sign here, Clarence, Uncle Clarence. Just put your fucking stupid stamp of approval on our latest grift. And shut up. I'll send you and your dumb bitch insurrectionist wife on a whirlwind tour. God, I hate these people. Oh my God. Anyway, so Let's see. Where was I? What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the filthy fascists. Of course, they hate the working class because they want you stupid. They want you nice and poor, and not. So you can't pester your betters. You can't ask for anything. You can't demand anything really. You just work your low-paying, uniquely American job with no benefits, retirement, security, or days off, and go to church and await your rewards in heaven. Now, you know what I found hilarious was here's this guy, Sean Hannity, who is also known as the stupidest man in media, and I didn't make that up. That's what he's known on. He's known as on the inside in the media world by other broadcasters.
I don't think I often disagree with you. We've been friends a long time.
That's true.
So this is Sean Hannity, the stupidest man in media, talking to Uncle Tim Scott, and they're discussing the UAW strike.
Heard your comments about Reagan and the UAW, and you strike, you get fired.
Yes.
Here's where I might differ from you a little bit, and tell me where I might be wrong.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the UAW, and they by the way, their 4-day work week, 32 hours. Take that proposal. No way. That's not.
Boo.
Okay, I work like.
Boo! Boo! 8-hour workday. Boo! Weekends. Boo! Boudica. Boo! She's doing something she shouldn't be doing. Booty! Booty! Get the hell. So, you see, one of the demands of the striking UAW workers is a 32-hour work week, which is being workshopped, I guess you could call it, in other countries to great success. And this was the promise of the 20th century, really, when things were supposed to get easier and the American people were supposed to enjoy this, a leisure class life as not leisure class, but more leisure time, I should say, as the result of the great prosperity and result of this, booming economy and whatnot. But the Republicans, like everything else, they want to keep us stuck. They never want to innovate. Now, not 100 years ago, a little more than 100 years ago, before the labor movement in the early part of the 20th century, a 60-hour work week, 70-hour work week was standard. You had no days off. You had no weekend. You had no worker protections. All of the weekend itself was, and we know this, we talk about it on the show, people fought, bled, and died for the weekend. So there's nothing wrong with asking for, a seat at the table, but also a decent life that you can enjoy. Because what is the meaning of life? If the corporations are making record profits, then there should be, as the UAW is saying, record contract. The UAW gave concessions to the auto to the corporation, and they, as a partner, so the auto industry would survive the Great Recession. So now things have changed, and if the CEOs and the executives can make millions of dollars in salary, why? In fact, where is this? I had a screen grab of the exact profit margins. All right, hold on. We'll be right back. Unapologetic Liberal Talk. So, I can't find it. Shit. Well, anyway, listen to Hannity.
90 hours a week. Sorry, I don't.
Wait. Let me roll it back a little bit.
And they, by the way, their 4-day work week, 32 hours. Take that proposal. No way.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Okay, I work like 90 hours a week. Sorry.
I work 90 hours a week, he says. Who believes that? Anybody? You want to believe that? Hannity works 90 hours a week. And even if he does, I doubt, please, he doesn't work 90 hours a week. He doesn't do shit. He's got writers and producers. He sits on a set, and this is why he's the stupidest man in media. Even when he was simply doing radio in Atlanta, he would get a list. In fact, what Mike Malloy told me was that he would listen to Rush Limbaugh's show and then repeat that show. Repeat all the same talking points and articles and whatnot. He would just rehash it. So give me a break. Hannity, he works 90 hours a week. I'd take that bet. Right. And then the mindless dupes. Terry on the chat says, the mindless dupes. Boo. What are you booing, assholes? 8-hour workday. Boo. Now, if this were 100 years ago, right, we could just roll it back. Of course they would be booing. Oh, yeah, if you don't work like in the triangle factory, in the famous the triangle shirtwaist factory. There was a sign there, which has now become a famous labor rallying touchstone, I suppose. It said, if you don't come in on Sunday, don't come in on Monday. Meaning, don't think you're going to church. So they didn't even have a day off. Don't think you can go to church, because a lot of people wanted to simply go to church on Sunday. And okay, you want to go to church on Sunday? Don't come in on Monday. And that's not that long ago. But there you go. The mindless assholes who know nothing, who think that a middle class in this country came about because billionaires were feeling generous, or the robber barons were feeling generous.
Nobody gets a 4-day work week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody.
I don't know anybody that doesn't work.
Nobody gets a
16
4-day
hours.
work week except the Senate and the Congress, right? Who don't do shit. How many days a year? Let me look this up. I should have had this ready. How many days a year does the Congress? Does the Congress? Let's see. It varies. Okay. Yes, we knew that. It's according to the speaker, of course, and the majority leaders. So it says number of days of Congress works varies year to year, but is generally less than the numbers of days worked by the average American worker. According to the House of Representatives, according to blah blah, the House of Representatives were scheduled to be in session in Washington a total of, get ready, 133 days. While the Senate was in session about the same amount of time. It is important to note that the House and Senate do not always have synchronized schedules. So, yeah, whatever. I understand. Of course, I'm looking it up on the AI but it's so annoying. Because it always has to give you that. It's important to note that. Shut up. So, yeah. Give me a break. Hannity works. I love these people who tell us that we're not living up to their expectations from the ivory tower. It reminds me of Joe Scarborough. And I remember we played a clip. I can't remember when. It was not that long ago, because he keeps, repeating this bullshit about how we're not like Europe. We don't want these 30-day standard vacation packages, and that's because we love working so much. Meanwhile, I don't know if I recall correctly, which I do, because I put that show on in the morning when I drink my coffee. He's not there a lot. Him and Mika, they're always on some jaunt. They have the day off. They're on vacation. They love. It's do as I say, not as I do. It's all supposed to be because we're not working hard enough. That's the message here. That's why unions suck, according to the Republicans, because they promote laziness, right? You get it's really the upside down world in Republican bizarro world, where working people, you pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and as if the bosses are going to give you a square, fair deal if you ask them nicely. No, you will be discarded like a host from which to suck profit, because what's the meaning of life to them? It is to exploit, to find as many dumbasses to exploit, to rig the game in the favor of the rich and have and give you absolutely no means to counter it, or not even a seat at the table. That's why they don't like unions. They don't want working people to have a seat at the table, which is ridiculous. In other countries, like in Germany, for example, there is regulation that corporations have to have, the board of directors have to include union and worker representatives, and that's how it should work. Because seriously, really, what is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of an economy, especially in a democracy? Is it to make a few people very rich? According to Republicans, it is. And that's why they have these idiots who cheer them without a clue, without knowing, or even having the decency to say, thank you, unions, which is, I find it outrageous. We've take these things for granted. The 8-hour workday, worker protections, the National Labor Relations Board, which, of course, Republicans want to destroy from within. And to the point where it means nothing. It's just another arm of the billionaire class. But let's continue with these two assholes.
Joe Biden and this push towards electric vehicles.
Oh, wait. They're blaming... See, this is what they're saying. They're blaming everything. They're blaming... they're saying that the automakers can't survive because it's electric cars.
18 hours a day. But here's the thing. They are totally losing their jobs because of Joe Biden and this push towards electric vehicles.
Absolutely.
$4.5 billion profit loss on the EV line of Ford this year.
Yep.
That they are killing these workers. That
Bullshit.
should be, what recourse do they have?
Hold on. Let's continue with these two yokels.
I have a question. Anytime you have a president who drives us to inflationary levels of 16%, this is like the sequel to the Jimmy Carter years.
Bullshit.
It is devastating.
Keep saying it.
And it's devastating.
Maybe it'll be
working class
true. Maybe it'll be true the longer they say it. You know? They just keep saying, because they need to have something, I suppose, to run on. They need to turn the working class against the very initiatives that throw them a lifeline, that allow the American worker to have a decent life. And this guy, this Uncle Tim Scott, he's really a piece of work. You know, the Republicans are letting their hatred of the working class, they're letting that freak flag fly for now. Because I don't know if you know that Trump, you probably heard, the con man with the fake university, the vitamin scam, the grifter, who isn't going to debate with the other assholes who want to pretend to be president. They, instead of joining the assholes on stage, he's going to take his asshole to I don't know, something. He's going to do something with a union. He's going to... Let me look this up. Wait. Trump. What is he doing? Yes, he's planning a Detroit visit to during the second GOP debate.
Because they've lost thousands of dollars of spending power, and without any question, whether you're a non-union or union worker, you're being devastated by the Bidenomics. Devastated.
Bidenomics.
One of the things I focused on, Sean, that's really important is the fact that in the first, y'all remember that $1.9 trillion COVID package deal passed in 2021? There was $86 billion to bail out the unions. That's terrible.
Oh my goodness.
They keep offering.
First of all, is that even true? I don't know. The other thing is, what about the monthly $1 million? Let me look this up. You know, the stipend we give to big oil. Right? How much does big oil get in taxpayer Subsidy. All right. Conservative estimates put the U.S. direct subsidies to the fossil fuel industry at roughly $20 billion a year. Subsidies exclusive to oil and gas cost taxpayers $4 billion a year. Estimates range from $10 to $50 billion a year. Estimates range from 10 to 50 billion for U.S. subsidies for the fossil fuel industry. Fossil fuels received 5.9 trillion in subsidies in 2020, according to a report from the International Monetary Fund. Explicit subsidies accounted for only 8% of the total, while the remaining 92% were implicit, which took the form of tax breaks or health and environmental damages that were not priced into the cost of fossil fuels. According to Forbes, the oil and gas industry is subsidized between $10 and $15 billion per year. And what is this son of a bitch going
Devastated.
on about?
One of the things I focused on, Sean, that's really important is the fact that in the first, y'all remember that $1.9 trillion COVID package deal passed in 2021? There was $86 billion to bail out the unions. That's terrible.
It's nuts.
That's
They keep
terrible.
offering-
86 billion? Let me look this up. Holy shit. Did the COVID package, I guess you could say, contain a union bailout? And if, first of all, that's the other thing is, if that's the case, what they're talking about is retirement funds. And it's, if there was a bailout, we're talking about during the pandemic to get people through this crisis, and that's with good reason. Now, you're not bailing out. What are you bailing? You're not bailing out the union specifically. You're bailing out or offering lifelines to those who depend on those pensions. So when he's complaining that there's money to keep unions afloat, what he's complaining about is that old people got to continue living, with decency, dignity. They continue to get their daily bread, because that's I guess something that Republicans can't abide. They'd rather, instead of that money going to I don't know how many millions of people, millions of seniors, they'd rather it be focused on a few at the top. Because there's never a crying or a complaint about the money that gets funneled into the arms of people who never spend it in 1,000 lifelines. When you give money to the working class, or when you bail out the working class, so to speak, like, for example, $1 in public assistance returns $6 in tax tax benefit. Wait, am I saying this correctly? Now I need to get my. Now I don't want to be just yelling stats. Let's see, $1 in public, because I know that every dollar that we, for example, give to educate somebody returns $6 in taxes down the road. So. But I think it might be, as far as public assistance, I think it's like $3 in economic stimulus, because when somebody gets $1 who's on the lower end of the ladder, they're not taking it and putting it in a Swiss bank account. It goes back into the economy. So you're not bailing out that person in general. Yes, that person is getting a lifeline, but you're also keeping local businesses afloat. You're keeping roofs over people's heads. Therefore, landlords, they're still getting their rent payments, and the local, coffee guy is getting, he still gets to, have his business stay afloat. So when they just throw out these numbers without context, well, really, the devil is in the details. When you're bailing out a pension fund, you're not bailing out unions. You're bailing out. You're allowing seniors to continue to live in decency and in dignity and security during a worldwide crisis. So I know how Republicans hate that, because they would love for seniors to be living in tent cities and or to go back to the good old days where before Social Security and Medicare. Well, before Social Security, I should say, when the primary cause of death for seniors was malnutrition all year long and hypothermia in the winter. So that's the what Republicans call the good old days. Make America great again.
The unions are forcing the Democrats, they're using.
They own them.
They own them.
They own you.
And when that happens,
they own them. Good. They own them. Unions own them. It's incredible. Well, I mean, how Hannity, what do we know, right? We don't want to work. That's the message, right? Union people, nobody wants to work. We just want to lay around in the social safety net hammock, even though we're at work. So unions are just like welfare, I suppose. People who don't deserve a job, they get to get a paycheck and suck on they take advantage of the poor put upon millionaire at the top who did everything himself, who worked like he was little Lord Fauntleroy. Yeah, he worked. He pulled himself up by his bootstraps. He didn't need anybody. He was like Trump. He didn't get a $1 million loan from his daddy, which, of course, was a fabrication. He didn't need to get the $250,000 trust fund that he bankrupted 5 times over and come up with some vitamin scam or buy some tacky hotel, which he turned into a casino and bankrupted, which I don't know how that's possible, but he managed to do it.
the taxpayers, there's no such thing as a federal dollar. They're your dollars. They're all your dollars.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Putting
get them angry. Get them angry about stupid shit who, meanwhile, I bet you their grandmother, their grandfather, someone in their family, and maybe even themselves are benefiting from these bailouts. And they're like, yeah, strip them of all decency. This is my money. Look at his face, too. Freak.
$6 billion of your money into shoring up union pensions because they keep...
Do you hear what he's saying? I'm telling you, right? He's shoring up union pensions is, again, allowing seniors to continue to receive the pensions that they earned through their working lives during a pandemic. You know, when everything shut down and people needed help and subsidies and a lot of things, needed to be given a bailout. Not Perjury Traitor Green, though she got one. Lauren Band from the bowling alley Bobert got one. But they're fine, right? They get their $150,000 bailout. I think that's what Perjury Traitor Green got. So let's see. According to a recent analysis by the USDA, during a slow economy, $1 billion in new SNAP benefits increases the gross domestic product of the United States by 1.54 billion. This means that every dollar in new SNAP benefits returns about $1.50 into the economy. So it's an investment, really. You know, you're allowing the machine to keep going. The size of the multiplier for any government assistance or spending depends on how much the assistance is spent and on what. Previous research concludes that the reasonable estimate for government spending multiplier under general economic conditions range from 0.8 to 1.5, meaning that $1 of additional government spending increases the GDP between 80 cents and $1.50. Therefore, it can be inferred that every dollar in public assistance returns between 80 and $1.50 in economic stimulus. So the devil is in the details, right? And Kathy on the chat says, my dad was in a union, and thank God. Growing up, we had a decent working class life. Nothing fancy. My parents worked hard and never got to live long enough to enjoy the fruits of their labor. Sorry to hear that. But I understand. My father, too. My father was a garbage man. My mother worked for the post office after she was a nun. And that's what we were able to have a house. My father had a car. My mother had a car. And we didn't go hungry. We weren't living in the lap of luxury. We didn't have golden toilets. But that's because of a union. That's why I told you the story before. You know, my sister was married to this effing Republican, which drove me up a wall. And, of course, he cheated on her because, yeah, that's who they are, you know. I'm just kidding. People, Democrats cheat too, so whatever. And she was, I don't know, we were somewhere and somebody said something, whatever. It's a long story. I see the time is running out, so for Progressive Voice's part. But she said, she started bashing unions. She's like, yeah, that's because the union. Yeah, that's because the union. And I'm like, what? I'm like, you had a roof over your head because of the union. Daddy and mommy were able to put food on the table because of the union. We had health care because of the union. It's just sickening. And that's how it is, right? And that's what I say, you know, Republicans, they want all the benefits of civilization. They just don't have the maturity, the manners, the decency to say thanks. Thanks, man. Thanks for the bleeding, for fighting, for bleeding, for dying, for this, the simple benefits that we all take for granted. Well, here's something that I appreciate that Biden keeps doing, and he did it when Perjury Traitor Green went after him, calling him trying to continue the policies of FDR. I'm like, good. That was great that he made an ad, but he did the same thing with the Republicans attacking unions.
When you have a president that's constantly saying, go union, this is what you get. The unions get emboldened and then they start asking for things.
The first bill he passed had $86 billion for union pensions.
This president clearly does prioritize union jobs, and he's made very clear here that union workers deserve more, that their pay increases have not come close to the success and the money that all of these auto companies have enjoyed.
Isn't that great? Biden Harris. That's the best. That is the best. Good work there. Whoever is coming up with these ads, that's, I gotta say, keep up the good work there. Well, before we lose our Progressive Voices audience, I guess I can end on this. Well, we're not ending. The show will continue on YouTube. So I thought this was great. Howard Stern, in case you missed it, he summed up what we talk about all the time. You know, when they call you woke, they really honor you. And here's Howard.
I'll play you the clip, but he does say, you know, I'm a big Howard Stern fan, and I started. But how he goes, yeah, but Howard is woke now. I hear that a lot.
Geez.
That I'm not good anymore because I'm woke. My whole career I've been hearing.
Well, maybe Metamucil is woke. Stop eating it.
Yeah. By the way, I kind of take that as a compliment that I'm woke. I'll tell you how I feel about it.
Exactly.
To me, the opposite of woke is being asleep. And if woke means I can't get behind Trump, which is what I think it means, or that I support people who want to be transgender, or I'm for the vaccine, well, dude, call me woke as you fucking want.
Yeah.
I'm not for stupidity. You know,
there you go.
I ran out Friday morning. I was over at CVS. Thank you, CVS. I went over there 9 a.m. and got myself that new vaccine for COVID. Fucking science. This fucking country is so great. You can get it for free. I mean, everyone can get it for free except me. I had to pay for it because for some reason my fucking insurance, you know, they take your insurance card and they go, oh, your insurance for some reason doesn't. I go, I got the shittiest fucking.
How did you wind up with a bad policy? What's wrong with you?
Cost me $300 fucking bucks for me and Beth.
What?
Yeah. No, more. Anyway, the rest of you will not have to pay.
Stop it. No, I've never. They take my information. They say they don't even look anymore because they have me in the file. And they say, has your insurance changed? No. Here's your shot.
I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I didn't care. I wanted it. I got there super early. And I was like the first one. And I got that shot. And I'm like, God bless the United States. God bless the United States. I get every fucking vaccine out. Good. And for those of you who think the government's trying to kill you or implant chips,
or
go
they're
ahead with
chipping you. I don't know why they're chipping you.
Go for those conspiracies. But I am woke, motherfucker, and I love it. I want to be awake. I want to read legitimate news sources. Here's how woke I am. I believe the election was not rigged. Because
did you hear Trump's latest statement about how he decided the election was fake? Was that he just felt that way?
Yeah,
and
he had a feeling.
Listen to his lawyers. His lawyers said to him, "You lost the election." He said, "I didn't trust them. I didn't like them. I didn't respect them. I decided that the election was rigged."
So I'm woke, man. I think that's a compliment.
There you go. When they attack you, they honor you. And stay woke on Progressive Voices. Thank you guys for hanging out. This is Tara Devlin. Please become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. Check out APS Radio News for some more independent, liberal, and otherwise all types of media. The independent media. We stick together, we win. If you can, give the show a good review. Keep coming back. It works if you work it, so work it, you're worth it. Hang out with us on Friday night at YouTube. We stick together, we win. My name is Tara Devlin. I'll see you soon. All right, that worked out. That worked out a little bit there. Okay, so couple of things, just two things, I guess, to finish out the show for tonight. I wanted to talk about, we'll go here. Republicans are, this kind of made me sick. They are, I don't know how, aren't they tired of being being on Putin's state TV? Aren't they tired of being used for Russian propaganda? I mean, when you're being used on Russian state TV, don't you think you would use that as a wake-up call? Wouldn't, I mean, if you're not a traitor, you would think that. You would be like, holy shit, you mean I was used on Putin's Russian state television as someone that they like? Yeah, Russian state TV is enraptured over Republican response to Zelinski. So Zelinski came to America. He was here in New York. Booty. Oh no, she's ripping shit up again. Boudica, you're so cute. At least she's feeling better. So he was here, and he went to Washington as well. But of course, Kevin McCarthy denied him the chance to speak before the Congress again. So Putin's state television was entirely pleased with his puppet. Where is it? I'll show you. On the Midas Touch Network. There he is, see? Russian state TV is absolutely delighted about McCarthy, his decision to not allow Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelinski to address a joint session of Congress. RT, the English language Russian media propaganda outlet, said in a piece on McCarthy Thursday, while backing Ukraine against Russia remains a popular position for Republicans, or they said Republicans, there are growing signs of pushback against maintaining the current level of assistance. I have dyslexia. They then played a clip of McCarthy saying, "Is Zelinski a member of Congress? Is he our president? I don't think I have to commit to anything." And you know why he's not? Because there is an insurrectionist caucus. And it's Perjury, Traitor, Green. It's Matt Gaetz. It's Lauren Boebert. It's effing George Santos. Okay? These people, these extreme MAGA Republican fascist bastards they represent fewer people. They have a anti-American ideology. They have policies that only tickle the racist funny bones of the worst people, and who are in the minority. They are a minority of Americans, but they are very loud. They like to scream. They like to cry. They like to pretend they're the victim all the time. So RT quoted McCarthy saying, "Where's the accountability on the money we've already spent? What's the plan for victory?" Well, as if there is none. Of course there's accountability. Of course there's a plan. They're not just gonna tell the assholes on Fox News, are they? And McCarthy knows this, but he's stirring the pot. Where's the plan? Oh, well, let's announce this plan. The plan is to continue to arm our Democratic ally against the brutal and illegal invasion of an America-hating, democracy-loathing dictator, following in the footsteps of Hitler. You know, these people never learn lessons, do they? You know, like the asshole that was like, well, this isn't like World War II. upset that migrants can have a legal or asylum seekers have a legal right to seek asylum without being harassed and intimidated and used as pawns, turned away, or have their children taken from them. They don't like that. Well, that's not the same thing here. They don't learn the lessons of history. So we're going to just let another dictator trample all over another democracy? That's not how it works. It is a matter of security, American security. But these people, if you go back in time, before World War II, there's all the same loudmouth fascist voices sticking up for Hitler, parading down Fifth Avenue in the German-American Bund. The Republicans in Congress, isolationists encouraging the American people to stay out of it. Let Hitler, we can work with Hitler. Look at Hitler. He's got snappy uniforms, cheap labor, and he's pro-business. Meanwhile, what does Putin have anyway? Oh, he has oil. That's it. Oil. He hates democracy. He is a murdering, brutal, paranoid dictator, but that's who these people admire. They love all the world's dictators. It's a disgrace. And Kevin McCarthy is the weakest speaker of the House in the history of the House of Representatives. He is I mean, what? It's like Uncle Clarence Thomas. What does he get out of this? Don't you have any dignity? When you sit at home and in your old age and you look back, you're going to be proud of the fact that you allowed the likes of Matt Gaetz and Perjury Traitor Green to ride you like a borrowed mule all over the goddamn Congress and use you and make a fool out of you? It's unreal. Matt Gaetz runs Congress, not Kevin McCarthy.
The House has really abandoned the McCarthy CR strategy today and has embraced the Matt Gaetz strategy of single subject spending bills. And that's not to my credit. That's to the credit of some of the moderates who I think wised up and said, well, if we're going to go into a shutdown, let's at least lay out what our priorities are. I feel more productive today than I did yesterday when my sole goal was to kill governing by continuing resolution. I think we've got that pretty well buried 6 feet under for now.
That's Matt Gaetz talking about the continuing resolution, and they're going to shut down the government because Matt Gaetz said they're going to shut down the government for whatever reason. The reason is they don't like government. They need to make clips for, Eric Crowder, Breitbart. They want to go on Breitbart, and they want Breitbart. I mean, not Breitbart on. They'll go on there too. But who's the stinky Pigpen? That Oh, why can't his name? This is how tired I am, I guess. Who's the Pigpen guy? Somebody on the chat. You know what I'm talking about. The Pigpen. The one who should be in jail right now, but he's walking free. Yeah. Oh my God, I could see his face. What is wrong? You see, I hope this isn't the beginning of Alzheimer's. I hope it's just tiredness. Oh my God. Somebody on the chat, tell me quickly, or I'm going to have an aneurysm. You know, Bannon. Thank you. Somebody came to my aid. Steve Bannon, Pigpen. No offense to Pigpen, who is a charming and lovely person by all accounts, unlike Breitbart. Not Breitbart. Why I keep getting them mixed up. I'm thinking of Andrew Breitbart, who was also kind of a Pigpen himself, very sick. They were all sick people, They really, mentally, spiritually, very sick. And Andrew Breitbart, he was an active alcoholic, like the rest of them. I'm in recovery, but this is the thing. It takes one to know one. These people will not get help because they are they're wrapped up in this vision of what strength is, and they think that getting help, asking for help, is somewhat, it makes them weak, when they are weak by just merely by not asking for help. It's like Uncle Clarence. He's a weak-ass bitch. He thinks he's strong. You're not strong when you're somebody's bitch. You're not strong when somebody owns your ass. The same thing with these active alcoholics and addicts running around crying about everybody else, saying pretending to be manly because their daddy never loved them. So it's incredible. Here's some images, of course, from Kevin McCarthy on Russian state TV being praised. Even though Kevin McCarthy avoided a public entrance, the meeting with Ukrainian President Zelinski, he took photos with Zelinski. Look at his face. No smile, no nothing. Well, I guess they're not smiling. He looks like a beaten dog there anyway. Don't let Perjury Traitor Green see. Aid to Ukraine amounts to a minuscule portion of the overall federal budget. The U.S. aid packages have decimated the Russian military without Americans firing a shot. The war is going so badly for Putin, he faced a coup involving his best troops over the state of the Russian fighting forces in Ukraine. Despite all this, the pressure among the GOP to withhold additional aid to Ukraine in their war against naked Russian aggression is growing, based entirely on propaganda. Republicans voting against Ukraine and silencing Zelinski are actively doing the work of the Russian government. And they've been doing this for a while. Earlier today, I didn't grab the clip, but Booty, does she have her cone on? Boudica. Oh, yeah. I thought it looked, for a second when she ran by, it looked like she took her cone off. But earlier today, I saw a clip of John McCain discussing how he couldn't believe it, but his fellow some of the Republicans were doing Putin's bidding. And for him to even say that out loud in public, that had to be bad. That had to be pretty bad. Let me see, what time is it? What time? That's time. It keeps ticking. It goes quickly. Have you heard of time? I'm giving you a book report. Time. It goes quickly. It ticks by. I'm thinking of Lauren Band from the Bowling Alley Bobert giving us a book report about the Constitution. I'm tired of all these separation of church and state thingy. Oh no, junk. I'm tired. All right. Let's see. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Here it is. Here's the other thing I wanted to point out, because I was thinking, this is something that I saw, how Republicans, aren't they tired of being the Putin puppets? Of course not. But I saw this, and this isn't one, this is just an example. Here's a clip of Perjury Traitor Green going on about some bullshit, and it's a complete lie that was pulled straight from the Russian propaganda.
And over in Ukraine, Charlie, by the way, we hadn't even talked about this. The country that Mitch McConnell and Schumer and Lindsey Graham and Tom Cotton and everybody can't wait to give another $100 billion to. Ukraine is one of the worst countries on the earth for child sex trafficking, and they're harvesting children's organs over there.
It is, of course, bullshit. That's absolutely not the truth, and she pulled it right off the shelf of Russian propaganda. That's who these people are. This whole what did she say, that they're harvesting organs of children in Ukraine? That's of course debunked. She falsely claimed. I mean, think about this. Of course it's bullshit. This is what is so fascinating and irritating is that I just have to ask, are there any outrageous conspiracy theory nonsenses? Or is that even a word? Is there any fallacy Perjury Traitor Green won't repeat? She buys any bullshit that is shoveled down her empty head. This is the same Q bitch who knew nothing about politics up until a few years ago. Her entire social media history was littered with CrossFit. That's it. Then she fell down a Q hole because of the con man. And she's like, Sandy Hook was a false flag. Jewish space lasers. Like, this is what she actually believed. The laundry list of stupidity is embarrassing for a grown woman. I mean, she's a grown woman. And, of course, when it comes to Ukraine, she is a Putin puppet. She is a frequent star of Russian state media. They constantly elevate her and Lauren banned from the bowling alley and banned from the theater. They're always on Russian state television doing Putin's bidding. Just like they're doing Putin's bidding here. And then you gotta wonder, don't these right-wingers ever get tired of being played? They're played all the time, like those idiots on Hannity's show, applauding. Saying, when Hannity says, I work 90 hours a week, they believe that. He works 90 hours a week like Trump is 6'3", 215 pounds. But it's lie to me, right? Suckers. That's what they just love it. As long as they could be as ugly and hateful and they could scream at terrified migrants. It's incredible. I mean, but this Perjury Traitor Green, you got to think, who votes for these people? Ukraine is one of the worst countries on earth for child sex trafficking, and they're harvesting children's organs over there? Bullshit. According to the AP, organ harvesting hoaxes were spread by pro-Russian hackers attempting to sow discord between Ukraine and allies as well as to spread fear in the invaded country, and similar claims have made their way into English language social media platforms. And who do you think? What platforms do you think? The organ harvesting hoax was further amplified by Russian state media and ultimately seeped into English language websites. It can now be found on major platforms including Twitter, Telegram, where Russian forces are portrayed as the saviors of these trafficking victims. Clips from unverified social media accounts have found their way into other popular right-wing accounts, fueling disinformation. Oh boy. In July, Newsweek debunked a claim of supposed Ukraine organ harvesting victims in a mass grave that went viral on Twitter, of course. Because idiots will spread anything that suits Putin's agenda, that undermines democracy. They just spread it. Why don't they catch on to the real conspiracies going on? Like the conspiracy to make the rich richer. The conspiracy to make the working class the more malleable working poor. The conspiracy to undermine democracy, this pesky democracy once and for all, by buying Supreme Court justices like Uncle Clarence and Justice I Like Beer. Who paid off his debts? We still don't know about that. You know, they're so tuned to conspiracies. Except the conspiracy that's actually happening, which is the oldest one that we've been up against forever. That Western civilization was defined by make the rich richer, keep the serfs stupid, concentrate money and power in the hands of a few, don't let them catch on. Sell them their rewards in heaven. Tell them they can't rise up against their betters, or they'll be rising up against God. They don't see that conspiracy, though. They'll just clap when Sean Hannity bashes unions. Incredible. This isn't the first time Green has spread conspiracy theories about Ukraine. Green once said that Ukraine was a war waged to cover up evidence against Joe Biden. Just a reminder, Ukraine was the one who was invaded. Yeah. Here's the Q bitch.
But you know, there's something more. You can't help but to draw this conclusion with all of the corruption
you can't
in
help
Ukraine
it.
And the exposing the biolabs and exposing Hunter.
See, you can't help to. She says you can't help, but whatever the hell, you can help it if you're not a moron. Uh-oh. Buffering. Why is that playing now?
You know, there's something more. You can't help but to draw this conclusion.
You can.
With all.
You can help. You can help if you're not stupid.
Of the corruption in Ukraine and the exposing the biolabs and exposing Hunter Biden and Joe Biden and,
oh my
the
God.
different business deals, corrupt business deals they had there. You can't help.
Like what? What corrupt business deals? These people. What about the actual corrupt business deals of getting $2 billion from the Saudis? An actual government employee. Or fast-track Chinese patents while you're on a diplomatic mission for supposedly for the United States.
But to conclude that a war in Ukraine, destroys a lot of evidence, and it really covers up
incredible. That's it. They had a war to cover up non-existent evidence of this great crime family, the Biden crime family. Some crime family they got. Well, we got 10 minutes left. I see the cats are getting nutty over here. Let's see. I just want to show one last thing. These horrible people here in New York. Here, I saw this from this small website called Freedom News. Everything is freedom. I was looking at this Freedom News. It didn't seem as bad as you think. They didn't. I don't know. I'll have to explore it more. It didn't seem. It did. Why can't I talk? It seemed like they were actually simply reporting things, but without. They're not maggots. Let's put it that way. But it doesn't matter. The point is, look at these assholes. Okay, that's the point. That's the scintillating comment. Free the Proud Boys. 100 Trump supporters and Proud Boys in uniform pour into Fifth Avenue, Manhattan, outside Trump Tower. You see what's going on? They're not going to stop. Put them in jail. They're not going to stop. They're the political prisoners. These people have to be crushed legally and peacefully. Crushed, smashed into history's trash bin. Are you listening, Merrick the Mild? This is what happens when you don't crush them legally and peacefully. They think they're political prisoners. Look at these assholes with the white power symbol. No. They're not racist. Republicans, they're totally not racist. They're totally just have different views. But they have nothing to do with racism. They're not fascists. They're not racists. They just love America, but they have a conservative point of view. Except everything is about white power. They don't even feel the need to hide it. It's like Uncle Clarence Thomas. He doesn't feel the need to hide his corruption or that he's a kept man. I almost said boy, but then I realized the historical context is not palatable. But really, he's kept. He's a pet. He's a pet of billionaires. And it has nothing to do with race. The only thing that has to do with race is that he's being used by right-wingers. He is a human shield of their bigotry, for their bigotry, allowing them to get away with all their corruption. And they can point to him, just like, George W. Bush pointed to Condi Rice. Oh, when they say I'm racist, I just say, oh, look at Condi Rice. I point over to Condi Rice. Because it doesn't matter the policies. You have a human shield. It doesn't matter the reality, the incarcerated nation. Now all of a sudden, Republicans like Perjury, Traitor, she's all concerned about the treatment of prisoners in federal prison or in our prison system. She doesn't care that we are the most incarcerated nation on the planet. And what is it, 1 in 10 African American is incarcerated at some point? But according to this prick, I suppose that's because they deserve it, right? It's not the system, it's you. That's the message from the Republicans. See, it's not the system. It's like the unions. It's not the corrupt system. It's you. Work harder. Work 90 hours. Work 100 hours. Never stop. Just keep working. Never sleep. Don't have a life. Don't have children. Don't have a life. Don't have a house. Don't just work. Because that's what they want. You don't have the freedom to be free. You don't have the freedom to breathe, to be a human, to be sick, to want to take a minute, to sit, to play a guitar, to write a poem, to walk on the beach. That's the purview of the rich. And these idiots they're the human shields for the corrupt system. Keep people divided. Keep the racism going. You know, they have nothing to offer except division, hatred, anger. This is the Republican way. Keep the dumbasses fighting amongst each other. Let the racist freak flags fly. So we never, ever band together and have a country that works for everybody and looks and says, hey, you know what? The problem is not the working people. It's not that working people get to have a day off. It's because the system is rigged from the top. And they're buying politicians. And they're buying Supreme Court justices. And they're corrupting government and writing laws that keep people from having a decent life. It's the system, not you. But don't tell these assholes, but look at these dumbasses. You hear what they say? Stop yelling, the person is saying. But look at these assholes. The proud dog. Get animal welfare in here. The proud dog. Of course, you got this asshole with mask on. You know, you're so proud you have to wear a mask. So proud. Just like the KKK, right? White power. Proud. So proud you have to cover your face. Here comes this asshole. And I have to tell you, listening to these people's voices, Staten Island, 100%. I lived on Staten Island for many years. As you know, I grew up there. These people are from Staten Island. That's Staten Island accent. Oh my God. Look at these ugly people. They're just absolutely ugly, and they have nothing to offer. Just loud, saying nothing, screaming. What is your point? Free the Proud Boys? No. A jury of our fellow Americans heard all the evidence and convicted them of seditious conspiracy. They had a chance to be freed. They could tell their stories. They could show their evidence. But the American people, the jury of our fellow citizens, said, nah, guilty. Free them? Free them for what? So they could join you out there? Loud, boisterous, saying nothing. You know, it's like the old Native American saying, those who scream the most have the least to say. Look at these fuckers. Trump. Trump. God, ugly, just ugly all over on the all these stupid flags, made in China flags. Ugh, I love the never surrender with the mugshot of him surrendering, which says everything. That they are living in a bizarro world where never surrendering means actually surrendering. All right, well, we will win. Look at them. Of course we will. They're morons. We're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. If you can, become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Support APS Radio News. Independent media, we stick together, we win. My name is Tara Devlin. I'll see you soon. All right. The Proud Boys, free them. All right, where are you guys? I can't find my YouTube stream. They're bonkers. Exactly, Elise. Exactamundo, Fonzie. Right? Irony is lost on these people. Never surrender. Of Trump surrendering. They're so embarrassing, right? If they had the capacity to feel embarrassed or for shame, they would be embarrassed. Booty, you little bitch. Booty. I have this, I gotta get rid of it. It's just a vase, a vase, whatever you want to call it. When my sister and brother and sister-in-law sent me flowers on my stinking birthday that's coming up again. There was some very nice flowers. And there were some sticks sticking out, you know, like white little branches. And they were very nice. A part of the flowers. But, so the flowers are gone, as we all will be one day. You can tell I need a rest, right? And it's painted white, these sticks, you know, like branches or whatever. And Boudica it's catnip. These sticks are catnip to her. She can't leave them alone, so she jumps up. They're on top of a shelf, so she's like, boom, boom, boom. She's up there and she's eating the damn sticks. Takes the sticks down. She puts them all around. She breaks the sticks up. The sticks are gone. They're going to have to go. They're all over the floor. She's so cute, though. What can you do? I'm glad she's feeling better. Well, Terry, your birthday's coming up, too. Happy birthday or something. Another year, another trip round the sun. Well, thank you, Terry, for your compliments. Great show, Tara. I hope everyone will have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Haiku, for your moderating prowess, as always. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Jim, for your moderating prowess as well. I really appreciate it. You guys are great. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I'm in a mood. I need to get unconscious or something. So much shit to do. Whatever. Become a patron. Okay, stop whining. Okay, I love you all. Thank you so much. Boudica, come here. Come here, honey. Let me see if I can get her. Buddy. Oh, she ran away. Booty. Let me see. Booty. Wait. Booty. Booty. There she is. How you doing, boo? Booty boo. You're a good girl, right? That pillow's on the floor for her. She was laying on it. Booty boo. How are you, boo? You feeling all right, honey? She looks like she's tuckered out. Booty boo. What do you think? You too tired, boo? Oh, get it, boo. Get it, boo. Get it, booty. Boo. Good girl. Yeah, she's tired. She's a tired booty. She's so good. Look how good she is. All right. Good night, everybody. I will see you very soon.